Hey Brock, this is Keaton Everett from ABC going over your spring break camp pitching video. We're going to go through and just kind of look at a few things, kind of break down your mechanics step by step and talk a little bit about our balance, our posture, how our hips are working, where we can generate torque and power and just to get ourselves in a healthy position to throw the ball. And first off, right off the bat, everything's pretty solid with you. You got a good foundation, good base. It's just a matter of tweaking a few things to use a little bit more of your body, to get a little bit more torque and something to kind of set you in place for when you get older, when you get a little bit stronger, it'll make it that much more easier. All right, so first off, we're just going to start off what happens over the rubber. All right, when we're setting up and how that equates to consistency and mechanics. All right, the biggest thing with pitching is to be consistent, to be able to repeat our mechanics, to stay balanced, to keep our posture, and everything starts over the rubber. We want to break our hands over the rubber. We want to start everything over the rubber before we start going downhill to help us out. So first off, we're just going to look at your balance and your posture. So right here, you're centered over the middle of your body, all right, and watch what your head does when we go back. All right, so now you're going to lift this foot and look where that head goes. All right, we want our head to start back here. All right, this just limits our movement back. You know, like sprinters, they're starting their sprint blocks. When that gun fires, they don't rock back and then forward. Their first movement is forward. Same thing we want to do with pitching, is we want that first movement to be forward. Anything back is just wasted movement. It sort of makes it inconsistent. It just makes it tougher to pitch. So to start off, to make that easier, is to already start back there. All right, so we're more so with that ear over that back leg, somewhere back in here, so we don't have to rock back forward. And all that is that's just a body weight shift. All right, you just shift your weight to the body or to that back leg, and if you close up this front foot a little bit, that's going to make it a little bit easier. More so kind of shoulder width. But the biggest thing is just to start back in this position, so we don't have to shift back and then go forward, because we're going to go back to that position anyways. So might as well just start there. All right. So after that, everything gets real good, okay? We do like to see, especially at this age, once that leg starts coming up, you got your eyes on that catcher's glove, to just get in that habit. You always want to be looking at where you're going to throw, staring at that target, so you can just dial it in. It's visual. The more you can kind of see something, the more you can visualize where you want it to go, the easier it's going to be. So just get those eyes up on that catch a little bit quicker. So you can, you're looking at the glove, right as you're starting forward. So we just want to make sure that once that leg starts up, we're already looking in. All right. Another thing that's going to help you get a little more power, a little bit more out of those legs, is you have a pretty good angle in your knee here. All right. You want that knee to kind of get back, to get those hips closed, but let this leg just kind of hang. Have it be a little more natural, and get it away from flexing into your body. All right, we don't want it to see these extreme angles. So just kind of let that flex a little bit more, so then you don't have the tendency to want to, lead with your foot. We want to see these hips stay closed a little bit longer. We want this knee to stay closed, and we want the hips to start forward. All right, so in this position, we'd almost want to see this knee still back, closed a little bit, and those hips still leading yourself down the mound. All right, and all that's doing is that's just opening up your front foot. Your front foot's almost open, right about here. We want to try to keep it closed a little bit longer, just to keep those hips closed. So just think about driving, your hip bone or your back pocket of your pants to that catcher a little bit longer, and don't think about opening up your front side with your left knee, your left foot. That's going to happen naturally. Your body's going to do that It just has a natural reaction once that right hip starts coming through. All right, but other than that, upper body, once you start back is real good. You know, you're not getting a real extreme spine angle. You see a lot of guys, you know, back here, so everything's good there, nice and balanced, nice and athletic. One thing we do see is at foot strike. So here's your foot strike. All right, this is pretty good. Nice good angle. Your ball's up. You know, your front gloves sort of matching. It's staying over that front foot, so that's really good. And another thing too I want to point out is you got a good, nice neutral spine position. A lot of times you'll see guys that'll start, you know, leaking their front side, and that upper body will start turning a little bit. All right, so that's real good. So the one thing we just got to work on is torque. All right, where we're getting our velocity is from our hips starting forward before this right shoulder starts coming through. So as you watch here, watch what your hip and your shoulder are doing. All right, they're basically rotating together. All right, we want to see your hip basically in this position, that back foot turned over, all right, that hip almost facing the catcher, and then we're back with our upper body in this back position we talked about earlier. All right, and that left shoulder hasn't come through first yet. This is really big on strength, coordination, and something that will get easier as you get older. You know, a lot of kids your age don't have the strength to get that hip-shoulder separation, but the more we can work on it and kind of focus on it, once you do start getting that coordination, those neurological adaptations, it's going to get a little bit easier for you to really, you know, get everything under your hips. But what I do like is this glove sticking right out over that front foot, and you're bringing your body towards the glove. All right, a lot of times you'll see the kids, you know, pull it back into their body, but you're getting that glove out over that front side. Another thing that's going to come with better torque is you're going to drive through that back leg a little bit more. You can kind of see that foot. We like to see both feet on the ground as we're releasing, and you're kind of seeing this back foot get a little bit off that ground before you're releasing and getting in this angle here with your leg. You know, you got another couple inches to get out over that front foot. If you're staying in that back leg, you know, thinking about driving all that power through your last big toe, you're going to see yourself in a little bit more of this position, and you're going to get a little bit farther out and release that ball a little bit closer to the plate. You know, any couple inches we can get is going to be huge. So just try to drive through more through those legs. Pitching, I mean, it's huge on the lower body, in the hips, through the legs. That upper body is just keeping you balanced, just making sure your arm's getting up on top of the ball and driving downhill. But we just need to incorporate more of those legs. But other than that, I mean, everything is fundamentally good, fundamentally solid. So just a matter of starting yourself over the rubber a little better, you know, not shifting back. Just start already shifted back, and just use more of those hips. Drive that hip farther down the mound to get everything working to generate those that torque in that lower body. But again, man, it's there. It's solid. I like what I'm seeing. The biggest thing, especially at your age, is our arm in a spot that will keep us healthy. And right now it looks like you're getting yourself releasing the ball in the most beneficial way to your joints and your ligaments. And the more we can get that lower body in there, the less strain and stress is going to be putting on there. But everything is pretty solid to begin with. So good work. You know, have a great season this year. Thanks for coming out to camp. Hope you had a great time. We look forward to seeing you with ABC and again in the future.